Hello, welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast for another match reaction to another Arsenal win in this title race. As you can see, I am joined by Joel, very relaxed Joel, by the way, and Colin, who's, I don't know if his camera's working or not, if he's phone.
Contemplating.
Yes. Contemplating life.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Contemplating life. Oh, dear, how are you doing?
Oh, brother. No, we're all good, man. We're all good.
Yeah, what I was just speaking to Joel yesterday, so I'll start with you, Colin. Are you still confident? Are you even more confident that we've got this title is ours now? You've read it on WhatsApp that this is our year. Not throwing.
Okay. All right. Well, no. It's fine. It's fine. All right. See, I've got a different perspective on this, right? I actually watched Man City against Crystal Palace at the weekend. And I don't know why, but it was on, so I'm like, whatever. And they actually weren't that good, if I'm being brutally honest. I mean, it took a stupid challenge from Elise to give him the penalty, which, once Haaland steps up in the penalty box, it's like, it's almost inevitable at that point. Like, I didn't even look at it. I'm like, yeah, he's scoring this. Like, it is what it is. But, I mean, I'm not going to say anything stupid like the league's done, because that's just beyond stupidity at this point.
That's asking for trouble.
However, we put ourselves in a very good position, and considering that City don't play next week and we do, we have a chance to go 8 points clear before the international break. Which again, I can't understand.
Yeah, go on.
I can't understate how big that is. And then on top of that, their next league game is Liverpool.
I was about to say
the weekend we play Leeds, they're playing Liverpool. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, right? But I'll paint a picture for you, right? Say Man City lose to Liverpool, and we beat Leeds. That's an 11-point gap. Before they play us.
With 9 games to go as well after that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what, man?
In that moment, I just saw Colin's heart crumble. Just in that little moment there for a second, I saw a little bit of
Joe,
what we call Colin, as you know, moment, squeaky bum time.
Joe, you know that moment, yeah? You know that moment on, like, was it, what episode? I can't remember what episode it was. But you know that moment on The Simpsons where Bart's pausing the TV and it's like, just you can see like Ralph's like heart break.
Oh yeah, when
that is literally exactly. That is literally us right now. Oh boy!
Russ in the chat says saw the whites of his eyes.
Yeah. Proper reincarnation of the Undertaker, right there, Colin.
Right. Oh, right, Ryan. Why'd you do this to me, bro? Why? Why?
Colin, I'll tell you why. Because he's already done it to me.
Someone else just don't commit on I'm getting payback.
All right, whatever you want to do, bro. Whatever you want to do.
But it's exciting. Look,
Colin, though, I'm totally with you, mate. Like, me and Ryan have been chatting about this, and Liam, and people in the chat as well. We totally get it, and what me and Ryan have said pretty much since this explosion of form, and we've got to the top, is game by game. It's game by game every single time. You can't look beyond. We've seen it in the past, even when we were in the race for fourth. Do you remember with Spurs? and we had opportunities to take, to get in that position, and we always seem to crumble. I know there's a difference in mentality, and there's a real spiritual togetherness, isn't there, in this team that is so different. But we're just we don't want to. We believe, but we don't want to turn around and say, yes, it's a done deal. Like the players don't want to say, yes, it's a done deal. It's the same situation. The players are there and they're saying game by game. Arteta's saying the same. Let's focus on the team we've got in front of us and not look too far ahead, because that's when problems can occur. We've seen it with other teams as well. Like Leicester did when they won the league that year. It was game by game. Yeah, because everyone else didn't believe that Leicester could do it.
Yeah, and do you know what's funny about that season, Joe? Yeah, see, because I would say we were in the title race up until we played Swansea. Because what was it? We had Tottenham after we played Swansea, I think, and everyone was just looking at Tottenham like that's the game we're preparing for. Swansea, we'll beat them, no problem. What happened? We got turned over by Swansea. And this is what happens when you look too far ahead.
Yeah.
Now, I am not looking past any team, right? Because I seen what Palace did to Man City. They were very good on Saturday. They were
unlucky.
Really
good. Unlucky.
Yeah. They were really good, and it was only because of a mistake by Elise that done them in. Now, we could look at it and go, well, that's kind of a positive for us in a sense, because Man City just don't look like the same as last season. But on the flip side of that, you also have to give credit to Man City in a way, because they kept on plugging away until they got what they wanted.
Yeah. That's winners, isn't it? That's
it's
winners,
difficult
though.
Because it is, because again, this is why I'm a bit annoyed that people aren't giving us the respect that we're due, because it's very difficult to be the pace setters against this City side. Like, never mind being top of the league, like 5 points clear or like chasing them down and whatnot. It's very difficult to compete with this Manchester City side consistently unless you're constantly like improving year on year. Liverpool found that out. Like, do I think we'll be in this position next year? I don't know. Only time will tell that. But right now, it's going brilliant, mate. Going brilliant. This is what I've asked for years. Finally, we're getting it. And it's like, even looking back at it now, we've been through the trenches, bro. The trenches. Like, I still remember teams like having like, not even just over the last 10 years, but just more recently, having to deal with Socrates, David Luiz, Mustafi at the back, Hector Bellerin. Bro, every time I see those images on my timeline, I'm just like, how the fuck did we get through that?
You just reeled off some absolute legends there, so I don't know what you're talking about, Colin, to be perfectly honest. As soon as you
don't even.
I am right. Honestly, mate, I am right with you. I am totally with it. I think someone put an 11 on the screen not so long ago, and it's when we had Shamak up front.
Yeah,
and if you actually look at the rest of that team, we were actually, I think we won that game with that team that day, and it was like, but what the heck? Like, and then we had a team afterwards that actually on paper had the chance to deliver, and they used to lose their nerve. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah, I know that team. What was it? It was Victor Maloney in goal. Kieran Gibbs.
It was bizarre, wasn't it?
Kieran Gibbs, Abure, Scalacci, and Sylvester. Who remembers him?
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's something got Denilson, Fabregas, and Nasri. I think Nasri. Oh, I'm trying to think now. And then it was like Shamak, as you said, Shamak, Arshavin, and Theo.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Can you just put what Russ has put on the screen a sec?
What the last one, yeah?
The last one.
Oh boy.
Shamak was good, right? I think those 3 words were ridiculous for starters. Until he was dropped.
That's a dumb one.
And he was never ever. It scared him. I think what scared him was the fact that he had to header a ball and ruin his hair. I think that's what scared him, to be perfectly honest.
Anyway.
And
Shamak was utter useless, bro. Like I'm not even like.
He had a great preseason the year we bought him, and everyone thought, "Wow, this guy's going to deliver." And then he played his first game, and it's like he disappeared. He totally disappeared. It was weird.
Joel, do you remember who we played in preseason that year? Because I can't.
No, but it wasn't anyone that was. But he was scoring goals, and genuinely, we thought, "Oh, we've actually got someone here." Because preseason, we never really had great preseasons. Let's be honest; it was always a bit of a weird.
Yeah, preseason's always been a weird one for us. But that preseason, well, I think it was Celtic. Was it Celtic or Rangers that in the Emirates Cup? Celtic or Rangers in the Emirates Cup?
I can't think what year it was. What year did we buy Shamak?
God knows, but it's too long ago.
It might have been 2010, I think. Or it might have been before that.
2010.
I would have thought it'd be sooner, but all right.
One sec. No, 10-11 season.
No, okay, 10-11,
yeah. 10-11, because it was we had, because it was DVD, got that kit on when we got to the Carling Cup final. Remember,
less said about that game, the better.
See, you say about Arshavin, but I really liked him. I did like him. He was one of those players, wasn't he, that, you know, he was very much a divide, when he with the club. But then I always cast my mind back to that Liverpool game, and I just think he was so on it, wasn't he? He was. That's the game, isn't it? That is the game.
Yeah. He wasn't even. He's not long arrived at us. He wasn't even 100% match fit first.
Yeah, no, 2010 to 2013, Shamak.
Yeah, he came in and we got rid of Eduardo.
40 appearances. Here we go, Russ. Here's a stat for you. 40 appearances, 8 goals.
Oh, God.
On fire.
God.
And he went, and when he left us, he went to Palace, Joe, and he did absolutely fuck all with him.
He went to West Ham on loan.
with nothing.
And then he went to Palace. Had 60 appearances for Palace. I don't know what we should do a special show on him, really. With 7 goals in 60 games for Palace. and then he played for Cardiff.
Cardiff, oh my God.
He had 2 games at Cardiff, and that was the end of his career.
Wow.
So really, when you look at the breakdown, we got the best out of him.
I mean, if you want to look at it that way, all right. I mean, if you want to look at it like that, all right.
The positives out of it. The positives from his career.
Fucking hell.
I just remember, because we got him. There was massive hype because obviously he's coming from, I think it's League One as well. Massive hype. And we brought him in, and like a week later, Eduardo was at the door. Bordeaux, yeah.
Man.
My God.
What was it, the first 5 months started off all right, and then just fell off a cliff and never recovered. It was bug useless for us in the end. And to think he came in, as I say,
like many players over the years.
Anyway, I suppose, we'll leave Shamak for another time.
Back to the positives. Look at that. What the point was, Look at the players we've had, the squads we've had, and look where we are now. And I was watching Sky Sports News about an hour ago, and because George Graham's at some sort of event in London, and the cameras happened to be there, and they were asking all these questions. Do you think Arsenal win the title? And this, that, and the other. And he said he thinks yes, and because of the first time in a long time, the camaraderie on the pitch and off the pitch, he hasn't seen it in an Arsenal team for so long.
Yeah.
And you think that could be the game changer for any team in the title race, Man City, this, that, and the other, Liverpool, whatever. Having that camaraderie on and off the pitch, that connection with the fan base as well.
Yeah, the belief, innit?
Belief. Oh, the only negative he mentioned, which is he wasn't having a go. Just saying the one thing they need to work on is tightening their defence up. Because obviously he was known for
celebrating before scoring. I suppose is always a really good one as well.
Oh yeah, celebrate we won a league before we've even scored. Fuck it, why not? What I find funny is all these the celebration police and all that as well, like over celebrating and taking the piss and all that. They all take the piss in media and all that. It's just we haven't even won the league yet. If we win the league, look, turn your TVs off turn your laptops off because it's going to be a party.
It's going to be awful. It's going to be awful.
Yeah, it's going to be. Bro, everyone's catching smoke. I don't care.
Every tattooist is going to have a cannon on it. That's all I'm going to say, mate. It's going to be horrific. It's going to be horrific. Victoria Concordia Crescent is going to be tattooed on every single man across the country. I can't wait,
bro.
Yep.
Honestly, lads, I can't wait for that. I really can't. I honestly, if we win the league, and I mean this wholeheartedly, everyone that has kind of brushed us off as like, oh, they're not title contenders and this and that, oh, they'll fall away and everything else. They're all catching smoke, bro. They're all catching it.
I'll tell you who will get it more, though, Colin. Gary Neville is going to get something rotten. Yeah. I'll tell you now. Yeah. If what was it? The game, the game yesterday, and Man United drew, and he said, "Do you know what? It was good. We kept a clean sheet today." And I'm thinking, you just can't, can you? You just can't. You cannot give us credit for anything. You said a clean sheet was good.
Not the 3 points or the 3 goals or nothing like that. The football, no, clean sheet.
Yeah. No, but he was talking about Man United.
Joe, this is another thing that you won't mention. Arsenal right now, at this current stage, are 16 points clear of Man United. 16 points clear.
But then the top
and yet a couple of weeks ago, and yet a couple of weeks ago, they were talking like, oh, we're competing for the title. No, you weren't. All right?
Just say,
stop lying.
Looking at the league yesterday, as say if we look at the league as a neutral, for example, right? I was looking at this yesterday, and when you look at the table currently, right, this is probably the best race generally across the whole league at both ends, right? 20th, you've got Southampton on 22 points. Going right up to 12th on 27 points. Now, in what season do you really remember that it's that close? Normally, after Christmas, couple of months after Christmas, whatever, we'd have someone down and out by now, wouldn't we? Let's be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
But 22 points at the bottom, 27 at 12th. That's scary, isn't it? Look how close that could flip. And there's some big teams in those positions. You know, I don't know who you think, Colin, who you think's going to get relegated. Maybe, I don't know, we'll talk about it later. I don't know, but it's major, isn't it? It is major. Like, even the other end of the table, 11th into the European positions, 35 to 42, it's all up for grabs. It really there's opportunities both ends, isn't there? For clubs that didn't even think they'd be there. Look at Brighton, Fulham, Brentford. And this is, for me, it's a cracking season all round. And that's not just because we're top of the league. I mean, it's just because when you look at the table, it's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, all right, there's been some
a bit more
clubs have
excitement
had,
than that,
like-
Colin, would be nice, but I feel it up for you, mate.
Okay. Look. I'm thrilled Arsenal are like 5 points clear at the top, right? I'm thrilled about that because at the end of it, this is all I've wanted. Like for us to compete at the top level. That's all I've wanted. Like for years, I moaned about this, and now I'm getting it, and I'm like, brilliant. That's fantastic. As far as everyone else goes, I mean, it's close at both ends, but also there's some, especially amongst the top six, some of them have had a shocking season. I mean, Liverpool, let's be real. They've been dog shit this season. Like, you go, this is what made Saturday so amazing for me because they go from beating Man United 7-0 to losing to Bournemouth. Now, if there's a fan base that needed humbling this weekend, it was Liverpool. Like you get all up yourself about the 7-0, but as we know as Arsenal fans, it's fine getting one over on your rivals and this and that. But if you draw or lose the next game, it's absolutely pointless.
But now, taking our eyes off Liverpool, though, look at Chelsea in 10th.
Bruh.
After spending
let's
£600
not
million
forget for a second. Let's not forget for a second here that we got so much stick off them for years.
The last 19. Literally, for 19 years, we've had to put up with their rubbish.
And in the grand scheme of things, when you look at it, Brighton have got quite a few games, haven't they, to catch up on?
Yeah.
Brighton have actually got the potential to take the European spot from Liverpool.
Yeah. Brentford as well.
And they could jump. Well, they're three through. Yeah. Brighton and Fulham was an upset somewhere. That's the mentality, and they're thinking we're having the season of our lives. Let's just keep playing. Where Liverpool and Chelsea are panicking
because of that. Yeah.
Where Brighton and Brighton, Fulham, and Brentford are like, we never thought we'd be here. Let's just keep doing what we're doing.
Exactly.
And that's why it's exciting, and the fact that Newcastle have 2 games over Spurs is even better.
And people tell me this again competitive.
Those 2 games in Hangzhou are against West Ham and Everton, by the way.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the win those.
And that's West Ham and Everton in trouble as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've got excited. Colin smiled. That's my day done. I just want to. I suppose we'll crack on with that reaction, shall we?
Bro, I've done nothing but smile this season. Like,
yeah, but I haven't seen you. Last time I saw you.
Okay.
Last time I saw you.
It was after the window. I was smiling then too. What are you talking about?
I thought it was a grimace, mate. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was a grimace. Anyway, let's go positive. Arsenal Fulham the other day. I'm going to take over the show. Ryan, what did you make of it?
After Man City did what they did, I was that was the most nervous I was going into that game, even though they didn't have their key midfielder in midfield because he's suspended. Pereira, or Panini, whatever you pronounce his fucking name. because it's a London derby, it's at their place. They gave us a game at our gaffer in the season. Marco Silva obviously had a good record against us as well as the home manager against us years gone by. This was the most I felt. Could this be the one? And no, we just came out as soon as the lineups came out. We heard about news about Jesus was in the squad and Trossard was back and all that. And I saw the 11 and I saw the bench. I was more relaxed, and the team didn't prove me wrong either in terms of that after being relaxed, because they just went out there, controlled the game from the get-go, and some of the passing, even when it didn't lead to goals, was it's the best football I've seen in a half of football. Even the second half was good, but the first half in general was the best football I've seen from any team in this season.
What did Liam say? Liquid gold.
Liquid gold. Proper.
It was though, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, the second goal, Ben White was at the ball on the far right-hand side, turns, launches it Hollywood passing wise to Xhaka on the other side on the left-hand side. Xhaka takes it down, runs through the middle, back at the Martinelli. Trossard then overlaps at Trossard, Martinelli just stood there. Hi, boom. But it's just pure. It's just like the
Trossard.
Trossard yesterday, was considering he had a muscle injury the week before, and there was fears he'd be out to
the game by the collar and just
he was like a pit bull.
Him and Odegaard, I have to say, were quality.
He was all over the place, and then Odegaard again this season. Ever since he's been given the armband back in the summer, you had people deny what they doing. He's only been here a year, and this, that, and the other. I personally think it would have gone if Tierney was more reliable in terms of his fitness. It more likely would have gone to Tierney in summer, because he got the injury back in the last season, I think, and the fact that Odegaard took on the vice captaincy roles near the back end and he did so well. I think that swayed it for Arteta, and then we've seen it hasn't hindered him. If anything, he took on the responsibility as captain of this club, and it's made him a better player. He's not gone hard in any game whatsoever. He leads by example. And that's what you want. That's what you want from a captain. And again, it's not just obviously Odegaard. We've mentioned it a few times, even yesterday and over the last few months. We've got Granit Xhaka, Thomas Partey, Tierney, even though he doesn't play, Zinchenko, Jesus. I mean, the fact that Jesus came in and was made vice captain straight away, that says a lot about what he is as a leader off the pitch and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know as well, Arsenal did a tweet out in the last couple of hours that they're releasing a documentary in partnership with Adidas, basically a behind the scenes look of Jesus' recovery since he's been out injured. They're going to show us a mini documentary series of him going through his recovery all the way to his return. And from what we've seen in the advert, he's obviously when he's in the stands watching the game, he lives through it. He wants to be on that pitch. He's like, "Come on, get me back on," and all that. It's like, and again, I'm sometimes a few players there that are leaders now, and for how long we wanted more like leaders in this team. And I asked him yesterday, when was the last time we can say we've got multiple, not just a captain, but multiple leaders that don't even need the armband to lead by example? And even he said more likely the 0304, the squad of 0304 was the last time we can say leader from back to front. Even Ramsdale, I'll say, as leader. We look at the documentary and how he is as a character, and how he is as a professional, and how he regards clean sheets. If Arsenal winning 3-0, but they conceded a late goal like they did against Villa last season at home, that's ended well. He's gutted. That's him just shut off then for the rest of the night or the rest of the day, whatever, because he's so disappointed in himself. And we wanted that, and it's so good to have that now, that we have players that not just leaders, but they care. They genuinely care. They're not here for the money. They're here to compete and win at it.
They're winners. They're winners.
They're winners. I mean, Jesus and Zinchenko, I think, were the game changers. The fact that when Zinchenko came in, and he's even said most recently, when I came in, met the team, all my teammates and all my new teammates, and I got to know them in the space of a couple of hours. We had a meeting and all that, and I said, "This was Zinchenko, obviously. We can win a title this season." And they all thought he was joking, and he said, "No, I've been deadly serious. I've got to know. Even though I've been with you briefly now, so far, I believe that we've got the capabilities here." And we saw it at the start of the season when even was it Arsenal v Fulham. He's not even playing it, and he's there barking at the assistant, like, "What you're playing at? What's that for injury time?" When Arsenal and Gabriel scored, he is launching himself over into the dugout, down the pitch, to celebrate with his teammates. And even yesterday, he's there singing along with the Arsenal fans the Arteta song and things like that.
Yeah,
We've got,
it's different.
We've got game changers now.
Different breed. You bring those people in, and you know, like they say, if you want, you know, if you want to be successful, you surround yourself with success, don't you? If you know what I mean. If you want to feel good, you surround yourself with good people. You know, it's getting that mindset, isn't it? And then when you bring in someone like Jorginho as well, who's won everything pretty much possible, he's another guy. Another guy though that adds that thing, that element to the game. And I just think it's great. I obviously said how I felt after the last game, and I just thought it was so impressive. Impressive. And like you say, you know, the game was done in the first half. We almost shut it down. And
in the second half, we just came out and just saw the game out professionally. It was like, you can have ball now, but you're not getting past us at all. And another thing that I sort of want to mention is the belief in this team. A few times this season, we had about 4 or 5 times this season, maybe more, in the league. Lastminute.com winners. And that, believe it or not, for anyone that doesn't, like, even Tottenham fans, you want to listen to this. Last minute winners in a title race is huge at any point in the season. But when you do it multiple times, that shows the character of this team more than anything. That's better in one sense than just killing the game off every week, because you're seeing the character that, like we saw a couple of weeks ago against Bournemouth, 2-0 down, 35 minutes to go, fought back, never say die attitude, fought back, goal, and then spent the last 20 minutes bombarding them until the last kick of the game from one of our own, who's barely played this season because of injuries and this, that, and the other, on his weak foot in a high pressure moment in a title race, to take it on when he did what Reece did. That's just, that in itself speaks volumes as well about this team that Arteta's built, and Eddie, because Eddie's involved as well. And it's, again, rivals aren't getting this. Tottenham fans, Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, and whatever, Man United fans, City fans, are not getting it. This is the start. This is only the start of this process, kick starting, basically. I have said for months now, no matter what happens in this title race, win it or not, we ain't going away next season. This ain't a one-off. We've got the hunger now. This team has that hunger, that desire to compete. And we ain't going away. We're not going to do, with all due respect to Leicester City here, and I know that's different circumstances here, but we're not just going to possibly win this, possibly touch wood, and then just disappear next season and fall away. We're here for the long haul now. And this is 3 years, by the way, in the making under Arteta. If rival fans are being scared this season, wait till next season and the following season and the following season as we add as well. Look at the players we've been linked to as well. Declan Rice. You said yesterday, Joel, having someone like Declan Rice and Partey to take part, like one to play Champions League and one to play League, or vice versa.
Like rotate,
And it's
Liam was saying when he said, you know, imagine rotating Partey and Declan Rice. Like, it just, That's scary stuff. And the way that Xhaka is playing at the moment, he's not gonna want to step out. He's not want to give his place up. He's made that clear these last couple of weeks. He loves the club.
Yeah, and look at Xhaka, that there. I think that's what you mentioned as well yesterday. Granit Xhaka, the guy was I think it was you or Liam said yesterday. He had 2 feet out the door at one point.
Yeah, he was gone, wasn't he, Colin? He was gone.
Yeah, he was out. He was out, bro.
He was pretty much in a Roma shirt. Let's be honest. And if it weren't for Arteta, bro, that's what Xhaka said. If it weren't for Arteta,
Xhaka was public enemy number 1 after the Palace game, and I remember it because I was like, I seen the words "fuck off" leave his mouth, all right, and at that point, I'm thinking you're done. Like any fan would have thought at that point. Like you do that to the fans, right? You're thinking, nah, you're done. You're done out here.
Yeah.
What's happened since has just been like
just a resurgence, isn't it?
I can't even put words to it, bro. That's how mad it is. Like, if you'd said to me that Granit Xhaka would have been one of our better players this season, I'm not saying I would have laughed, but I'm not sure I would have believed you. Like,
there's no Arsenal fan, Colin. There is no Arsenal fan, and I'll tell you now, after what he did, there is no Arsenal fan that would turn around on the planet and go, yeah, he's going to be back in contention to wearing a captain's armband and give him, full throttle. That probably the best season he's given us. There is no way. There is no way.
No.
Not after that.
And to be honest, mate, see if he does get the captain's armband again, which I don't think he will. I think Odegaard's the captain for the foreseeable future.
But he's vice captain.
But if he did, right, we've got a manager now that is able to just like take him aside and kind of like calm him down a little bit. We've already seen that this season, where after a game, Xhaka's like going off
ran
on
the pitch,
and Arteta,
didn't he?
Exactly, and Arteta ran on the pitch and tried to calm him down. Whereas like with the Palace game, we had Emery essentially stuck by Granit Xhaka when he was at his worst, and he didn't help him at all. So there's a major difference there. The manager's helping him out, like, because I mean, that essentially that's the job of the manager, bro, to kind of bring the player aside and kind of go, right, what's the issue, what's wrong, and kind of be that kind of mentor figure to them, and in a way that Pep is to Man City, really. So Xhaka's been unbelievable. Like, I can't even describe it properly. Although, just one tiny criticism: that ball yesterday, oh my God, that was disgusting. That was disgusting. Like, oh my God. Like, if that had gone in, I'd have gone,
I don't want to know.
My head would have went, bro. My head would have went. And do you know what? Do you know what was more kind of satisfying about yesterday, right? The last couple of games, more specifically Villa and Bournemouth, I've lost, my voice has gone twice from both of those games. So really, it's a relief that this game was so calm because my voice hadn't gone. Like, that shit was easy. Like, it was easy, bro. Like, it's like, oh, okay, Fulham, you're having a good season. Cool. Step up. Oh, okay. Slapped. There you go.
Craig in the chat, Craig AFC87 says Arsenal have kept 9 clean sheets away from home in the Premier League this season, their joint highest in any single campaign since 93-94.
That's a stat, Craig. That's a stat, mate.
Unreal.
He is the stat man.
And that was Champagne football against Fulham yesterday. And a few other stats yesterday. Obviously, 100th win for Arteta. And Arsenal are now not the only, but the one of 2 teams to have in Europe's top 5 leagues, to have 3 players with 10 plus goals in their attacking threesome. The only other team that has that is PSG with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. We've got that with Odegaard, Saka, and Martinelli. And that goes back to what I mean. The rivals need to be scared because this is, as I keep saying, this is only the beginning. And
bro, they're
Look how
rattled.
old they are.
Bro, they're rattled. That's it. They're rattled, bro. The last week, all I've heard from rivals is Man City will beat Arsenal to the title. I've heard Man City fans say Arsenal aren't built like City. Well, you're right. We actually have fans in attendance for a start. And also, like, it's just, do you know what it is? It's that sense of entitlement with rivals. Like, City believe that they should be winning the league without any problems whatsoever. Liverpool believe that they should be where we are. They're not. They're having a shocker. Man United fans can't get their head around we've managed to get our house in order before they have, when we've been pretty much neck and neck in terms of shithousery from the top level. And Chelsea fans, they can't stomach the fact that they don't have like an owner like a Roman who's intelligent with the way he does things. Instead, they've got an American owner who just likes to throw money at the problem and hope it fixes itself. So really, we deserve to be up there. Anyone telling you otherwise,
Colin, I think they're pissed
anyone
off.
telling you otherwise is full of shit.
I think they're pissed off that they paid 60 million more for a player that hasn't done anything, that we bought a player that was Premier League ready and proven, and the proof is there. That's the difference. You know, don't get me wrong.
When you look at Trossard, bro, when you look at Trossard, 21 million, right? 21 million for Trossard. He balled out yesterday. Like, he was unreal. And we paid what? 21 million for him?
He was player of the weekend.
We've essentially, by buying Trossard and not Mudryk, what we've done is we've essentially put ourselves in a position where we can actually spend that type of money on a player in the summer as opposed to in January on a player who's unproven in this league.
We were saying this yesterday. You know, the money is now there. And for example, if we did sell Tierney, for example, which is a possibility coming up, you know, 30 million minimum, do you bring back Tavares and bring him into that left back position as he's been playing well abroad, for example, as that backup guy, another young lad, and then you put that money, you know, into that big player, potentially another big striker. It's frightening. The position we are putting ourselves in is a very strong position, and this is whether we win the league or not. It's a strong position. You know, financially, we've taken the hit the last couple of years. Now we've put ourselves in a very good, clever situation with those buys in January, and that's credit to Arteta and Adu, full credit to him, because when people turn around and Trossard, do you know what? I was well chuffed when we got Trossard. I'm not going to lie. When you've got someone that's ready to hit the ground running, you think this is great. And then we bought Jorginho. There was a lot of people that went, another Chelsea. He's another guy that just adds to the winning mentality. That's all it is. And another defender for the future who's got, you know, like we said yesterday, who's got, you know, his missus is World Championship twerker. That works for me. That works for me.
I can't believe you went there, bro. I can't believe you went there, bro.
Well, to be fair, Liam sent me pictures, so I'm going to drop Liam in it. So
all right. So it's all Liam's fault then.
Love you, Liam. Love you.
Do you know what? Do you know what though? The thing with Kiowa, yeah, he's coming from a league where, all right, Spezia, they're not amazing. Like they're sort of like a middle of the road Serie A team, if you know what I mean. Just like getting towards mid-table, but not quite bad enough to get relegated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like the more time he spends with the team, he'll improve as time goes on. Because one thing I'm not going to do is write him off because look, he's played one game in an Arsenal shirt. One.
He's young.
Right? So, and like, did he have his best game against Sporting Lisbon? No. But that said, it is one game. And if you write a player off based on one game, then I'm sorry, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Well, there you go. If you don't believe Colin, you're a fucking idiot.
I did not say that. I said if you write one player off after one game, you're an idiot.
Just crop what I said.
You bastard.
I'm going to have to head off in 10 minutes. Can I jump into the rating?
Yeah, you can jump into the rating. We'll start with the goalkeeper. Go on.
Go on then, Colin.
Do you know what? I would say I'd give him like probably a 7, if I'm honest. There was a couple of instances where I'm like, oh, bit dodgy, like on the ropes there, but he made some good saves as well. So Fulham weren't at it, so he didn't really have much to do, to be honest. He kind of looked bored during parts of the game, if I'm being brutally honest. So it's like he didn't do terrible, but he wasn't like he didn't have to do much really. So I'd say 7.
Yeah. I was going to say a 7 after the when it came into the box and he kicked it out and it went straight to a player, didn't it? He literally booted it straight to a player, and I thought, oh no, like, because especially when you think of how he reacts to, you know, making a mistake or a goal going in, you think, oh, he's going to really hit hard. This is going to hit him. But I'd say 7 for Ramsdale. He didn't really do anything wrong, but he did right when he needed to, but didn't need to be called upon too much. That's it, really.
Yeah. I've got to say there's 7. I think, nothing much to do, but a few clearances that need improving on, but that's it once the booming happens. But Ben White, right back. Who wants to go first on that one?
I thought he was a dream. I'm not going to lie. I thought he was brilliant against Fulham. I thought he was pinging some great balls about. He got stuck in, and I still think he's a centre back in a right back position who's holding a right back out that I really value. And I think he's just been quality. I think he's been great all season, let alone like I thought he was just great yesterday. So I'd give him an 8 because we're not doing halves, are we?
No, we don't. We don't do halves over here.
All right, 8. Go on, Colin.
I'd say 8 as well. Honestly, the guy's been amazing all season. Like he just has been. Like if you're talking about our most important players, Odegaard's on that list, Zinchenko's on that list, Jesus, Gabriel as well. But Ben White, at least in my opinion, is the most underrated player in this Arsenal team. Just because of what he does, like defensively, offensively, off the ball. Like off the ball, when he doesn't have the ball, his work rate, man, like that doesn't get spoken about enough. Like, because when you're defending, you need to be good off the ball as you are on the ball. And Ben White off the ball is amazing. So yeah, 8.
Yeah, again, got to agree. 8, and like Collins has said, he has been our best and most improved player this season from players that come from last season into this season. Arguably, England's best defender in any position. Should be England's first choice right back. But with the manager we have at England, that will never be the case because the manager at England is clueless and just goes for the old drivel that he goes for in terms of ones that near the end of their careers and slowing down and don't have the same output. So yeah, I can't disagree with that. 8 again for him, and again, I think another reason why he's underrated, Connor. I think because he's English. He came from Brighton. Not the most exciting, so I say, when you come to fans and their mentality of they want the best thing from abroad and things like that. I've been a champion of saying
everyone talks about Ryan. Seriously, everyone talks about Trent, Reece James, and everything else. Trent's having a shocking season. Let's be perfectly blunt about it. Reece James is always injured. Ben White, out of the three of them, has been the most consistent this season.
Yeah, 100%.
We're gonna do 2 because both centre backs here, Gabriel and Saliba.
They come as a pair. What a beautiful pair.
Yeah.
For me, I'll go first on this one. The sort of the Rolls Royce of defence centre backs this year. When you think in terms of Gabriel, when you start the season, got absolutely crucified at the start of the season by our fan base, well, not all the fan base, but parts of our fan base, because he didn't start the way they wanted him to. But he was still getting goals. He was still bouncing back and this, that, and the other. He's worked his way into the season. Saliba started the season fantastically. Since the World Cup, I think the knock of not playing the World Cup sort of took it out of him a bit and coming from Qatar. But still, we're still getting performances 9 times out of 10, we are getting performances out of him as well. And the partnership they've built between them, this is their first season as well. But people need to remember that not only are they both young defenders still, this is their first season as a partnership. And we're equaling records and breaking records left, right, and centre when it comes to clean sheets and things like that. If midweek against Lisbon, Saliba scores. If he ain't scoring, it's Gabriel as well. They're contributing going forward as well. Yes, both of them solid as a rock. Vault again. I'm going to go 9 to both of them because they were individually and collectively fantastic.
Yeah, they seem to as a partnership read each other really well. There's a real understanding and a real togetherness. I think across the back four completely, to be perfectly honest, but I think the two of them really interchange. They seem to just know where each other are and what to be doing. And to be fair, I give Gabriel an 8, but Saliba a 9. I thought he's just quality, isn't he? And these goals as well, they're almost taking it in turns. It's quite scary, isn't it? And to have that aerial threat in the box when I get excited when we have a corner and you see those two in the box because you think something can happen here. That there's that general feeling that something can happen. And Ben White scoring the other day, Zinchenko had an absolute screamer. So it's potential across the whole back four, but I just think Saliba 9, Gabriel 8.
I'd probably put them on. I'd probably put them on the same kind of rating. I go 9, the pair of them, and the reason I would is because Gabriel at the start of, not so much at the start of the season, but kind of a little bit way into it, he was having some kind of bozo moments, if you like, but every defender does at some point. Since the season's gone on, those bozo moments are happening less and less. And that to me is like a breath of fresh air. And it's not even just that; it's the fact that they're both Reds at set pieces. Like, and again, I'm going to give credit to the manager here because what Arteta did with Saliba, sending him on loan to France, by the way, because bear in mind, Saliba's had to deal with the passing of his family during his Arsenal career as well. So for Arteta to send him on loan to France to be close to his family and have him come back when he's a bit more matured and this and that deserves massive credit for Arteta for me, because
and the amount of stick he got as well. Let's remember that the amount of stick Arteta got.
I know, and you know what, like, quite a bit of several managers after that probably would have like sold him on because it's like, oh, he's not reliable and this and that. Whereas Arteta's taken his time with him, and when he did play in the under-21s, people forget this. He was raw as a centre-back as well. He wasn't like refined like he is now. And you see the refined version of Saliba right in front of your eyes now.
Still don't. Colin, we still ain't got the best Saliba yet, mate.
No. This is what I mean by refined, Joe, right? Is like more so than he would have been had he been thrown in immediately. Like, Saliba's not even at his prime yet. That's what's scary about this whole team. This is what I'm saying. This team isn't even in its prime yet.
This
and
team,
people think we're going away. Nah. That ain't happening, bro. Nah.
We are currently sat, let's be honest, at rough diamond status. That's where we're at. And it's almost like Arteta's just polishing. He's just polishing. And you know, the more it goes, the brighter it gets, and you're seeing it. You're just seeing it. You know, I'm gonna have to go in a minute, lads, but it's exciting. That's all I'm gonna say. It's exciting.
Yeah, Zinchenko next. Quickly do that one.
Oh, you've chucked one of my favourites at me.
Oh,
do you know what? He's a 9 for me most games, and he didn't disappoint in this one either. He's just a 9, isn't he? He's just and he's on and off the ball. The passion he's got, the delivery of a ball, the driving forward, the defending. He just seems to be where he needs to be, and blimey, you can just see why Arteta brought him in. Zinchenko and Jesus, absolutely spot on. But yeah, he didn't score, so it's a 9. That's pretty much it, wasn't it? That was the only thing missing from his game, is he didn't score.
That's true.
That was it.
Cotton.
Yeah, I'm giving him a 9 as well. Like, if we're being brutally honest, the whole defense deserves 9s. Let's be real about it.
Yeah.
Like, all right, okay. You know what? I'm changing Ben White to a 9. Fuck it. The whole defense deserves 9s. I don't care. That back four deserves 9s across the board. Like, that's how good they are. Like,
you know, you can't actually change. Like once you've said it, Colin, he actually puts it in in the notes.
I can't. I just did.
Bloody hell, you diva.
Oh, dude.
Deal with it, bro.
All right.
9. Yep, 9 again. I can't disagree. Everything fantastic about him. You can't criticize him at all. He leads everything on the pitch. He leads by example, etc., etc. Right, on to we're going to do another double again. The pivot of Xhaka and Partey. We'll start with Colin this one.
I mean, Partey, man, like, oh.
Your soul just died then.
Can we just give? All right. Do you know what? I don't normally do this.
I'm waiting for it. Go on. He wants to give the team a 9.
And no. And bearing in mind, this won't happen often, right? So just brace, just kind of like cherish it while you can. Partey, 10. Don't care.
What about Granite though?
I'd say an 8. If Xhaka scored the goal for that, was it when he put in that
The
lovely
first
goal?
half, it was 2-0, yeah.
Yeah. If he'd scored that, 10. Because that kind of goal would have gotten 2+ marks, okay? The fact that he didn't, got to downgrade you by 2, bro.
Harsh, but okay.
Yeah,
He was good though. I'm not saying he wasn't.
For me,
No.
I'd give both of them, and I'd give both of them a 9. I think they were both just the way it's almost similar to Saliba and Gabriel. They just interchange. They interchange some of the balls, as you say, that Xhaka and Partey just was nicking stuff all over the place. He looked back to where he's, needs to be, and just quality beast mode. To be perfectly honest, Ryan, go on, mate, go
on. Granite 9, Partey, like Colin 10. Absolutely, it's like he's. When we bought Partey, I remember saying he potentially is the nearest thing we've had in terms of bringing someone midfielder in anywhere near a Vieira replacing Vieira. It took a bit of time, even he admits that. But since then, he has got better and better. And this
Worth
season,
the wait, mate. Worth the wait.
Yeah, 100%. And this season, when you consider I don't know how can I put this? But when you consider someone out there, or there's a player out there that his name's been targeted at until further notice. You've got all that to deal with because everyone's got social media. He'll know that obviously fans and all that are targeting with that brush, even though that name's never been put out there. To get on with his job and just do week by week, and the goals he's scoring as well. That's another thing he's added this season is goals, and instead of hitting Rosette, it's absolutely sublime. And again, it's got to be a 10 yesterday because every time I saw him on the ball, he was doing the nitty gritty of that pivot, getting stuck in, winning the ball. If he lost the ball, it'd be over, bang, 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 off again, and just popping the ball off to put whoever's open, basically, just going again, just kick starting the attack. Now we're going to do another double here in terms of. Actually, no, we do Odegaard first and then the double. So Odegaard, 9 for me. Again, leads again, like I said earlier, leaded by example, scored that goal. Oh my days! The fact the ball came in with pace, chested it down, took it down on his foot, and then literally a couple of touches and then hit it. He did not seem like he was being rushed, put under any pressure. He's just like, okay, thank you very much. Off we go, bang. And it's just, again, as a captain, just leading by example, helping the team, putting the team through. And then I don't know if you guys have seen his Instagram post after the game in the changing room. They're all there in team photo of a massive clock with the big hand at 11, the little hand at 2. So you got like 11 games to go.
Oh my god!
Who's now that?
Oh my god!
It's fantastic. And again, 35 million from Madrid. 35 million.
Yeah.
Absolute steal. I don't care what anyone says. Absolute steal.
Yeah, he's definitely. I'm with you, and he's a 9 all day for me. 9 all day.
Yep, Colin.
Yeah, same with me, bro. Honestly, like at this point, I'm running out of words for Odegaard because it's like for the amount of, and I'll never forget this either, right? And this isn't a knock on Madison at all, but the amount of people that were saying Odegaard at 30 million was a waste of money when we could have got a Madison for 20 million more, right? And look, I'll admit right now, I wanted Madison as well, but that's only because we knew the situation with Odegaard's going in. You know, that Madrid were only going to sell if they could offload somebody else. But I have never once said that Odegaard is a bad player, and I never will. And this season, because I heard this on Sky yesterday. Jamie Redknapp said that he was the best midfielder in the league. Now, that's a conversation that's subjective because it all depends on personal preference. But if you said to me that your opinion that Odegaard is the best midfielder in the league, I wouldn't disagree with you because he's been phenomenal this season. Like some will say, you know, De Bruyne and whatnot, but you know, De Bruyne is De Bruyne. You know what you get with him. Odegaard does a very different job to Kevin De Bruyne, but his link-up play with the forwards, again, it's phenomenal. It really is. Like, it's not even just his link-up play, it's his work rate off the ball. Because one of the things I would complain about all the time when we had Mesut Ozil, right? Attacking-wise, he was golden. But when it came to work rate off the ball, he was shocking.
Or he'd lose the ball.
Odegaard is like Odegaard's the complete opposite. Like, I'm honestly, I love Odegaard, man. Seriously, 9, don't care. Like, give him his flowers now.
Yeah. We're going to do, because I know Joel's getting off quick. We're going to do last week all together. Trossard, Saka, and Martinelli.
Oh.
Trossard's got to be 10. Got to be 10.
Why do you keep doing this?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't give out 10s, as Colin is probably fully aware of. But
yes.
Of course.
I would say yesterday I give Saka a 9 and Trossard and Martinelli 10. I think those two. I thought Martinelli, his work rate is just off the chart. This season, let alone yesterday, this season, his work rate has been off the chart. Martinelli, people talk about Saka being a player that is sort of irreplaceable at the moment. Do you know what I mean? He's a player you cannot drop. In my eyes, it's both of them. I think the way Martinelli's just come on, people were talking about how he needed goals in his game. Now we're getting goals in his game. We're getting assists in his game. We're getting the full work rate, the running back to get the ball. It's another level Martinelli, and it's frightening. And I'm so chuffed for him as well, because everyone in that Brazilian team says Martinelli's special. They all say it. He's going to be the next one. He's going to be the lad. And now we're seeing it. And that you know, for me, it's 10 for him. Trossard, well, it just speaks for itself. Unbelievable. Yesterday. I liked him the moment we signed him. The first game he played out of his tree like he'd been with us for years. And they're the players we want. And they're the players you're going to win stuff with. They're the difference makers, are the Trossards and the Martinellis and the Sakas, because Trossard already looks like he bleeds this club. That's the difference. And that's me. I better shoot, so I've got to put Charlie to bed. But I just think what a game, and the performances across the pitch, even from the subs as well, because when they came on, they just kept it going as well. They just want it. That's the difference. They just want it. It's a different Arsenal. And now that there's more pressure being added on, it seems like they're upping their game to the pressure. And that's when you're seeing the mentality change of we can do this, but we're still doing it one game at a time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's quite.
Yeah.
Colin, mate, it's lovely to see you because, to be fair, mate, I don't get to see you that often. I genuinely mean it. You're a top lad.
Well, Joel, we've always decided, back in the Northland Derby, after the Northland Derby, me and Colin were discussing this, and we were saying, if Arsenal pull this off, we're getting the whole gang back together. You, Melvin, everyone.
Honestly,
one big celebration.
Hopefully, we can have a big catch up in one of the pubs or something, because it'd just be nice to have a catch up with all of you, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we can all share our cannon tattoos on the day after.
Where you getting yours though, Joel? You've got any space left.
Yeah, I have, but to be fair, I don't know if it's fitting for a cannon. But I'll let you go on that note.
Oh, my life.
On that note, that's definitely worth. If anyone wants to crop that moment, they can. But you are weird. You are very, very weird. But I'll catch up with you soon, lads. But yeah, you take care, won't you, Colin? And Ryan, I'll see you soon, mate.
See you soon, Joel. Yeah,
see you later. Take care.
And then there's just the two of us. But yeah, So, Colin, did you give your little ratings for the forward three?
I mean, Trossard gets a 10. I don't even think that needs explaining.
No.
Like, it's just one of those where, I mean, you're looking at it, right? 21 million for Trossard. I mean, Jesus Christ. That right there says it all. Like, when certain clubs are spending like 100 million on unproven players, naming no names. But, I mean, he's fun. Honestly, he's fantastic. Saka, Saka this season has been like, everyone's starting to see what we've seen all along with Saka.
Yeah.
Like, he is just that. Like, he is phenomenal. Martinelli, I mean, I was starting to get worried about him because he wasn't scoring as much goals without Jesus in the side. But with again, this goes back to the impact that Trossard's had. What you're seeing with Trossard, he's playing down the middle as the false nine the same way Jesus was, and all of a sudden Martinelli is scoring goals again. Like, so the front three work like in tandem. And what's mental about all of this, right? Even though Trossard's only joined in January, right? All right. I don't think he can kind of like look too much into how many goals Trossard's got like in the league, because most of those goals he would have got at Brighton. So I don't think you look too much into that. But Odegaard, 10 goals. 10 league goals for Odegaard. 10 league goals for Saka. 12 for Martinelli. That's 3 players on double figures in terms of goals. Right? And when you look at the players that are above him, there's only 4 of them. Rashford, Tony, Kane, Haaland.
Yeah.
Like, and people are telling me they don't have enough goals in the team. Like, I heard something from a Liverpool fan, right, as a reason as to why we won't win the league, right? And the argument was, you don't have a player that scores 20 plus goals. I'm sorry, you don't need that if your front three are chipping in goals between them. Like, you watch City, bro. Legit, Haaland scores the majority of their goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's not Haaland, yeah. In fact, I'll go down the list actually. Haaland's got 28 goals for City, right? The closest player to him is Phil Foden on 9.
Oh my God.
Right? And I'm not knocking Phil Foden. Like, I like Phil Foden. He's class. But that just shows you how predictable City are. Like, and the other City players behind Phil Foden are Julian Alvarez and Riyad Mahrez on 5. So if anything, they're not scoring enough goals argument. Like, you're essentially saying that City aren't scoring enough goals because they've only got one player scoring. Or 2 if you count Foden. But again, like, Haaland's scoring the majority of their goals. And if anything, that's what's harmed City, because they've changed the way they play to benefit Haaland, because Haaland can play as a false 9. Whereas you've got us, we've got 2 false 9s. Jesus, Trossard. And I don't think we're going to play with, like, your standard, like, number 9 anymore. This is why I think Nketiah didn't work. Because if you notice, the difference between Trossard playing, Jesus playing, and Nketiah playing, what's this one contrast difference you see with the 2 that play the false 9 as opposed to Nketiah? The front 3 interchanges with the 2, and with Nketiah, it's almost like we're having to play up to him. And that harms
you
the
can't
team.
play in the wings.
No. And if you watch the City game, we actually looked the better team in the first half. And if Nketiah actually scored some of them chances, we'd probably go on to win it. But again, this is why Arteta knows what he's doing. And the reports of Declan Rice, listen, I've said all along, if Arteta wants him, I want him. Simple as that. And also, Osimhen, right? I don't know if Osimhen's difficult because Napoli they're a really good team, Napoli. They really are. They're like 18 points clear of Inter Milan in second place. Like, they've won the league.
Yeah.
Like, without question, they've won the league. But if we are to get Osimhen, it is going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because he's their main man. And I don't really envy, Arteta or Edu in, like, the striker kind of, or like buying a forward this summer. Because I'd imagine they would. They'll buy a forward this summer.
Champions League, so yeah, you'd think so, just to add that more depth.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't envy them at all, because it's going to be a difficult choice on who to get. But I don't think it's going to be your standard number 9, because if we did that, it would be like changing our style, like City have done. Like, and you can kind of take that gamble if you're thinking, this is the way I want to play, like, in the future, like what Liverpool have done with, like, Nunes and whatnot. But I don't know if Arteta is going to do that. And to be honest, if he does do that, then, like, this is my opinion, but I think that would be a mistake, because the way that the team plays with Trossard and Jesus as false 9s, it works. It works. Why change a good thing, bro? Why?
No, exactly. No, Craig in the chat saying Haaland has scored 28 league goals in 26 league games. That is ridiculous. And City are second, which they could go not to win in the league title with a striker. And that thing, because the first was bottom, they bent the knee.
Haaland's just a freak.
Yeah.
Like, Haaland's just a freak, bro. Haaland's not normal. Like, I'm convinced this guy was born in a test tube or something. Like, all right. The movie with, like, Frankenstein and the doctor, like, where the doctor just makes Frankenstein out of a lab and shit. That is essentially what Haaland is. Like, he's fantastic, yes, but the guy is a freak. Like, I mean, do you know what? I don't want to shit on him too much, because I do think City will get it right with him eventually. I really do. Like, Haaland himself is doing fantastic, but City are they've not linked up properly yet, if you get what I mean. But once they do, the league's in trouble, bro. Because Man City were already amazing before Haaland, Now you've got a free cut front, and if City click with him, bang, done.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, it just depends how long he's here for as well, because obviously
He won't
his
be here
agent's
long.
already playing
He won't be
games.
here. He won't be here long, mate. Honestly, he'll be here for like 2 years, if that, and then he's off to Madrid or something.
He's like doing a tour since the leaving. Was it Salzburg? What it was? Where the Red Bull team produced him in the first place. Since leaving there, it's just like he wants to go on a tour of bloody Europe, basically. Like obviously Germany with Dortmund, here Man City, obviously goes to La Liga, and Madrid, as you mentioned. At some point, he'll do like a year, 2 years at PSG just for the sake of it, just so he can say, I've conquered.
Oh, by the way, Ryan, I don't want to cut you off here, right? But kind of big thing. Mikel Arteta has won Manager of the Year at the London Football Awards.
There you go. That's where Jules Graham's at. That was it. Yep. That's where he's at.
And Saka's won like Young Player of the Year as well, and so the two of them are fantastic.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, literally, no one comes near him. Literally, no young player in England comes near him. So yeah, congratulations to both of them. But yeah, when it comes in terms of Saka, young player, I fully expect Saka to be PFA young player coming into the season. If he doesn't, there's something dodgy going on, because he has been yet again he's upped it to another level this season, and he's been fantastic. So, but hey,
do you know what? Right, the only, do you know what? See, as far as PFA Young Player of the Year goes, right, I'd be ecstatic if Saka won it, obviously, but I wouldn't overlook Martinelli in that either.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying in terms of
I know what you mean.
The rivals and all that. The rivals go, what about this one? What about that one? What about bloody? When his name going?
Both of them have over 10 goals.
Yeah.
So again, in fact, Saka's got like 10 goals and 9 assists. I'm sorry, it's over. It's over for the lot of you.
Sorry, Gabriel. Sorry, Gabriel. But yeah, maybe next year. But even Player of the Year, I mean, Player of the Year itself more likely to go to Haaland because of the goals he scored. But
yeah, well, you'll get the goal.
Any of our players either for that, because players have been performing collectively and individually. And what was it back in January? I think it was just after the North London derby. We won 2-0. A friend of mine asked, "Do you now believe that Arsenal will win the title?" And I actually had a thought about it for a couple of minutes. I went, you know what? Yeah, because when you compare us to Man City, we're playing as a team. It's a team collective. It's not just one player scoring the goals for us. Whereas with Man City, unless Haaland's scoring, it just ain't clicking. And then there's games where he hasn't played, they look lost. They look toothless.
Yeah. And on top of that, Ryan, we are on the exact same amount of points that Man City were last season at this stage. And Man City would go on to win the league. We're on track to hit 90 points, bro.
That's mental.
That's how mad this is. Like, we're talking like, well, actually, well, no, because how many points did Man City have? Do you know what? I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna look this up, right? Because
they won it on. I think they went at 97 points. I think it was last season.
No. Not last season, but the Centurion season where they hit like 100 points. Like, I mean, that would be.
Oh, okay.
Can you imagine if we hit 100 points? Holy shit! Like, people would lose their collective minds. Like, oh Jesus Christ! I'm not. Fucking hell.
Have a look. What's it? What year was it? I can't remember what year it was now.
Let's see. Would have been 17-18.
Oh, 17-18, Man City. You know what was that? Have a look.
Right. So filter about what? So we're on what? We're on match week 27, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, with 11 games to go.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah.
Right. So 27. Apply that filter. Okay, Man City at this point in the season, during the Centurion season, were on 72 points, but they'd only lost one game, so we're not going to hit 100.
No, overall, over the 38 game season, they won 32, drew 4, lost 2.
Yeah, yeah, but at this point in the season, like with the Centurions, like they'd only lost one game, and they were at 72 points. So, but you know what? Like hitting 90 in and of itself is madness. Like 100's inhuman. Like that's just not normal.
No. When you consider not even halfway through the season, when we hit the 50-point mark, we'd only dropped points away to United, 2 points away to Southampton, and Newcastle at home. That was only points we dropped at that point, going into the Everton game and all that. That itself is mental. And then since then, we've drawn 1, lost 2, and won all the rest. Even on the setback, and I think we haven't really mentioned it tonight, but when you consider after Man City beat us at the Emirates, they took the top spot and all that, and in the following game we had Villa, weren't it? The early kickoff. We came back.
We fought. I think
it was Villa.
Was it Villa?
Yeah, it was Villa. 4-2.
Huh.
And then Leicester.
Oh yeah, City had Forest. Yeah.
And then City, and then later on that day, City played Forest. You're thinking that's a 4-goal conclusion, and obviously they've been dropping points. Then sort of, fantastic. We reclaimed top spot, and then we just kicked on. We've gone to Leicester. Dominated Leicester 1-0. I said at the time, I still say it, 1-0 to Arsenal against Leicester was flattering to Leicester, going by their performance on the day. And then played our game in hand against Everton, smashed them off the park, 4-0, got in, got out, got a 5-point cushion. And we're just kicking on. Unlike years gone by, since we won the league and moving to the Emirates and all that, like 07, 08, 9-10 season, I think, and like the 15-16 season, we had a setback in them years. Mentally, we would crumble and it affected us on the pitch when we fall away and just held on to fourth. Whereas this season, we've had that little blip, a little setback, and we've just bounced back. We haven't let it affect us. We've gone, okay, dust ourselves down, gone again. And we've got ourselves back within days, back to top, and then just kicked on from there on in. And Paul Merson, after the Bournemouth game, said Fulham yesterday, Palace next Sunday, and the Leeds game at the start of April. His words are, if we win them 3 games, he's convinced the title's ours. Because they're the teams who should be winning. And we consider, as you say, Man City don't play this week and coming. They've got FA Cup. We play on Sunday, win that, 8 points clear. They then play Liverpool their first league game back. If Liverpool turn up and like they're doing the big games this season and do them like they did early on in the season, and then we beat Leeds, that's an 11-point gap going into our next game against Liverpool the week later at Anfield. Suddenly, 11 points, even with a game in hand that Man City will have, which isn't a guaranteed. I don't know if they're meant to be playing, but that's not a guaranteed win.
It's West Ham that their game in hand is, mate.
Okay,
they win that. West Ham at home for City. I'm sorry, they win that.
I stand corrected. But either way, they're still even after they play Liverpool. Look, again, we're assuming Liverpool turn up, beat them. We beat Leeds. We're 11 points going into the Liverpool game ourselves a week later. Even if they win their game in hand, we assume they would. That's 8 points still. Even a draw at Anfield won't be the worst thing, because then that's still 8. That'd be a 9-point gap still. assuming they win their game, and it'll be 12 points. But if they win their game, then it'll be 9 points. It's still a 9-point gap. And then what was it? We've got Southampton after that. Southampton and someone else, and then Man City. So that Man City game in itself could be the game that confirms us as league champions with game to spare, if we play our cards right. It's all about beating the team.
I'm hoping
all about beating the teams we should beat, but also not losing to Liverpool, and hoping Liverpool do us a favour the week before.
Well, I mean, all right, maybe I'm like hoping too much here, but
here we go.
If the gap's wide enough, right? If the gap's wide enough, and please no one make any fucking dirty comments about that, because I know what we're gonna get, right? If it's a big enough gap, right? Say, I mean, okay, by the time Man City play Liverpool, it'll be like an 8-point gap.
8 points, assuming we win on Sunday, it'd be 8 points, yeah.
Yeah, right. So if we beat Palace on the Sunday, Man City would go.
I'll just see what time, because I think they kick off after we play Leeds, so it could be 11 points actually.
No. They're the game against Liverpool is a 12:30 kickoff on the 1st of April.
Oh, okay.
So they play before we do.
8 points up, yeah.
They play before we do. If they lose that, because Man City will effectively go into that game knowing that they have to win.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, then we play Leeds straight after. And then you're looking at an 11-point gap, and Man City will think, right, we've got to win every fucking game now. Like, Man City have to win 2 more games than we do, and we have to lose 2 more games. Now, based on the current trajectory of this Arsenal team, and considering that we've not lost 2 on the bounce, I don't think, this season. Like, have we lost 2 games on the bounce this season?
No. Man United away went on the run. Everton, then Brentford was draws, which we should have won, and then it was Man City. So no, not 2 on the bounce, no.
Right. So Man City have to win every single game between now and the end of the season, and hope and pray that we lose 2 games as well, which, based on the trajectory of this Arsenal team, I mean, I don't want to jump the gun because things can quite easily change. Like, everyone's thinking after the City game, oh, this is the point where Arsenal drop off. They didn't. In fact, it was the opposite. City dropped points against Forest the previous week. And we got back the 3 points that... Well, actually... Yeah. We did get... We beat... Who did we play after City? Villa.
We won 4-2 at Villa, Villa Park.
Villa. We then got the 3 points back by beating Villa that we lost to them. So, like, the league can switch on a dime. Like, we're 5 points clear right now, but it could quite easily be 11 points by the time the first day of April is over with.
Yeah, it could. That's what I'm saying. Oh dear. So that's, and again, assuming Liverpool, again, the pressure of Man City knowing they'd have to win that Liverpool game backfires, and Liverpool pull out a performance out their backside that they did have a week in terms of getting the 3 points. We then win a couple hours later against Leeds at home. That's 11 points. The cushion we then have. And I just looked at the fixture list now. Then we've got Liverpool the following week at Anfield. Avoid defeat there, fantastic. And then we've got West Ham, Southampton, 2 winnable games there. Even though I've got something to fight for, 2 winnable games. And then you've got Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Wolves, Brighton. No, that Wolves, Brighton. Yeah, Brighton, Forest, then Wolves.
Yeah. Although City still have to go to Brighton away.
And they've got Brentford the last game of the season away. And Brentford, as we said, Brentford are fighting for a European spot as we speak. They might have something to fight for on the final day to confirm Europa League or Conference League, potentially.
I mean, if I had to...
And they've got to play Chelsea in the running.
Yeah, we've got to play Chelsea as well, but it's at home, and we've been pretty damn good at home. So I'd fancy my chances. Well, at least I'd fancy our chances in that. Following, I think we've got, was it Newcastle away? I mean, that could be a bit difficult.
Depending on their situation,
Then,
depending on what they're fighting for.
Yeah, depending on that. Then Brighton at home. I'd fancy our chances to win that one.
Yeah.
Even though Brighton are fighting for like European places, I still think we beat Brighton at home because we put 4 past them at the Amex. Nottingham Forest, I think, Forest away. That's a win. Like, and then you got Wolves, which I mean you think would win. But you know what? I'm not even looking at any of the games further forward. I'm literally looking at Crystal Palace right now, and that's it.
Yeah,
like,
and rightly so. We should do. We start overthinking things and getting carried away. We start putting wins together that haven't even come yet. If it doesn't happen, we're going to be absolutely gutted on ourselves and thinking, "No, why do we do it? Why do we do it?" I've said from literally the first few weeks of the season when we stopped at the top of the league after Bournemouth and things like that. It's still early on. Our objective was top 4, which we're going to do anyway. If we do get ourselves on the title, which is at the start of the season, if we do put ourselves on the title race, fantastic. But I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. And at the end of the day, City will still be favourites to the bitter end because they got the know-how. They've been there. They've got the players. They've got the bank account and all that. We're just going to do what we got to do. And if it turns out it turns out at the end of the season, come May 28th, after the final whistle at Wolves, we're getting ready to see the team lift that Premier League trophy. That's just a bonus in my eyes. Absolute bonus. A long time waiting, but it's an absolute bonus. But we'll see how it plays out. And obviously, someone said again. I said this yesterday in the watch along we did on the channel because I saw an Arsenal fan tweet out that basically they wanted City to be knocked out of Europe because they're beating Palace and all that. I was like, if anything, we need Man City to stay in Europe longer, the better, because they're distracted. Because that's their main objective. If they get knocked out of that this week or the next round, they're not distracted. Their full focus is then on us. We need them distracted. And if we get, assuming we get through on Thursday, depending on the draw on Friday, hopefully we avoid United. Because if we get United, we're going to have to. Don't want to say, but we might have to sort of sacrifice Europa for the Premier League, just because you don't want that distraction of having to go full pelt, full strength in both legs in between 2 league games. Even though the 2 league games are winnable games in Southampton and West Ham, you don't want to be going full pelt and knackering and risking any injuries to a Partey or a Jesus again, or Martinelli or Trossard, etc., because that could be the difference come the end running of the last 6 games of the league's campaign. But we'll see in terms of the Europa League. We'll see how that plays out on Friday, assuming we get through on Thursday, obviously.
Yeah, I'd imagine we would though. But now we can kind of because again we're only in 2 competitions. Right? I think Europa League only does you in if you're in more than 1 competition. For example, if you're still fighting for something in the league and you're in Europa and you've got the FA Cup as well, then it becomes a problem because you're playing multiple games a week. But if it's just the league and the Europa League, then you should be all right, because if you've got a big enough squad, then you should be able to rotate, and we have that. Whether or not the rotational players are on the level of the first 11, that's a whole other question. But I think the club and the players know, we have a real shot at the league here. So if it comes down to it and they have to pick one or the other, I think they pick the league. Because let's be honest, aside from the European trophy, right? Like we've already qualified for the Champions League. We're not dropping out the top 4.
No.
Like, not a chance. We're 16 points clear of Manchester United, who are in 3rd.
I think two more wins. I think two more wins are all but confirm us. I think, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an opportunity to win the league, and but we've waited years. Like, if anyone, Arsenal fans are the most patient people on the planet, right? Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Like, there's dickheads online who aren't, but listen, don't tar the Arsenal fans with that brush, because those people don't represent every single one of us. Because all of us have gone through the absolute shits, the 4-0s at Anfield, the 6-3s at the Etihad, the fucking, like, the 8-2s at Old Trafford, the 10-0s at Bayern, the 10-0s, like, over 2 legs against Bayern. We've been through it all. There's not a single drubbing that has happened over the last 10 years that Arsenal fans have not suffered through, right? So, as far as I'm concerned, like, rivals can shut the fuck up now, because I mean, you've got Spurs fans trying to tell us that, like, that we can't win the league. I'm sorry, who are you lot to chat to us? Like, come on, bruv. Like, you're not even our real rivals. You're literally just our nosy neighbours that won't shut up. Like, you know them neighbours, right, who are having a party at fucking 2 a.m, yeah? And you run downstairs and you tell them to shut the fuck up, you're trying to sleep. That is legitimately what Spurs are. I'm sorry, but it is. They're essentially Everton.
Oh, God.
Like, they're Everton, bro. Like, here's the thing. If Spurs fans come in the chat and say, how dare you compare us to Everton? Bro, I don't care. You are not our rivals. As far as I'm concerned, Man United are our rivals.
Yeah.
Because you know what the difference is between Man United and Spurs? Man United actually compete for trophies.
Exactly. It used to be a time. It used to be a time. Once upon a time in our lifetimes, gone in that Man United and Arsenal was in terms of the FA Cup. If we met each other in the FA Cup early rounds or whatever, it'd be whoever won that would go on to win. It was cut and dry like that. And again, I think Terry said it on the football channels as well, like, because he's getting grief from Tottenham fans. It's like, you've got no divine right. Who the hell who do you think you are? Don't come at me talking about trophies, and I've witnessed my team win multiple trophies, and you haven't won a league title since in colour, basically. Like 61 was the last and only league title. You haven't won an FA Cup since 91 in over 3 decades. League Cup is now 15 years and counting. You haven't won a trophy for 15 years. Going on 16 now, you ain't winning nothing this season. After having Trophy Mourinho and now the title winning, proven Antonio Conte won something at Chelsea. They won 3 trophies at fucking Chelsea, or two or 3 trophies. Either way, he won trophies at Chelsea.
Bro, do you know what Spurs fans did, right? During the FA Cup, right, when they had Sheffield United, they were saying Sheffield United, that's a win.
Yeah, I saw the video of that. I saw that video.
What happened? What happened?
The thing is, I was actually doing a watch. I think it was one of the women's. It was our game. It was our game in. We played Everton, sorry, and Tottenham were playing that night as well. And I thought, we just finished. I thought, you know what, that's playing. Put on BBC One. Finish the stream. See how that plays out. As soon as I turned it on, bang, 1-0. It's like, yes, perfect night. Thank you very much. Then fast forward a week, AC Milan come along and do a job for us. So thank you, Connor, for that one.
Bro, this is what I mean, bro. They're not a serious club. They're not. Like, it's like I said, bro. They're essentially Everton.
Yeah.
They don't win trophies. Like, if you ask any Liverpool fan, right, who's their biggest rivals, I guarantee you every single one of them say Man United.
Over Everton, yeah, all day long, yeah. Or over even Tottenham, even.
Yeah. Do you know why? Because Everton don't win trophies.
Exactly.
Like
95 was the
they
last
haven't.
one.
What? I mean, I've not seen Everton win a trophy in my lifetime.
I think they won one, and that
Like,
was in 95. 95.
yeah, but I didn't start watching football. I didn't start
I
watching
know, but
football
you know
until
what I'm saying? It's
97.
that
So
literally, but still, either way, you know what I'm saying? But no, it is. But as you say, you got Tottenham fans going all, but this is what I don't get about their fan base. They think they go, we're a big club. Media go, Tottenham are a big club. How are they a big club? What, because they got a world-class stadium. Okay. Have they won any trophies? I mean, all these accolades Harry Kane gets, all these goal records he's breaking, they have not led to a single team trophy. Individual trophies
no.
is different, but team trophies like league titles or FA Cups or League Cups or whatever, not led to one. This thing of the contribution between Son and Kane about goals, that the most goal contribution for a duo, and you look at the team, the duos they're overtaken in terms of Lampard, Drogba, Suarez,
Bro,
and
Lampard and Drogba won
Gerrard.
trophies. Like, seriously.
Omni and Perez. It's like they've all three I just mentioned there all won trophies as a collective, whereas Son and Kane for Tottenham haven't. So you can have little individual accolades and all that. You do that.
Bro, their need for validation is a madness, bro. Like, even
they had the chance.
Even in October, yeah, right? They were saying, "Oh, Arsenal are in a title race. So are we." I'm sorry, you finished third in a 2-horse race. Like, come on, man.
And the reason why that happened, last game of the season, away, they went away to already relegated, demoralised Newcastle and got battered 5-1.
Yep, remember that.
We hosted relegated Villa and beat them 4-0. The difference, but they had, as I say, while you're talking there, they had their chance to make a name for the club, make them start making them a big club, regarded as a big club anyway, and win trophies. Underbots, the FA Cup one they had, and they failed and lost 4-2 to Chelsea, and we went on to beat Chelsea that year 2017. The 15-16 season for the title race, coming third in a 2-horse race, and that's that like it or not, Tottenham fans, that is your legacy. In the modern era, that is your legacy. You was in a title race in the 15-16 season, and you came between you and Leicester. And the second you lost it, you came third in the 2-horse race. We were way off you points wise, and we overtook you.
We were terrible that season as well.
Oh yeah, they've had the 7 years. I said for the last 7 years, they've gone for the last 7 seasons or whatever they've had. Oh, we've had that. They've had that trophy of we finished above Arsenal. Woohoo! Hey, okay. And I've always said since the first one till even last season, I said, okay, you can celebrate. Come back. I've been in comment sections in like the football tournaments and all, and said, okay, come back when you do it in 21 times and win a few league titles and a few FA Cups and the League Cups and a Cup Winners' Cup, etc., etc. When you win trophies along with coming above us, come back to me. And
bro, our last trophy was 3 years ago.
7 and out. They are, because they are finishing below us.
Our last trophy was in 2020, right?
Yeah.
And I remember it because that's our squad that season was utter dog shit, and we still won a trophy.
Yeah.
Still. And yet my man would have come in here and go, "Oh, we're a big club." No, you're fucking not. No, you're not. Your ambition legitimately is finishing above Arsenal. That's your benchmark, bro. That's your benchmark.
Yeah, got Colin Young. Got Colin Young in the chat says we will possibly win the league and they will host Lady Gaga. That is Spursy Nation.
Bro, they're dog shit. They really are. Like, in fact, I'll go one step further, actually. Ryan, what did I say to you when we played Tottenham? Before the game, what did I say to you? I know what I said, but repeat it back for me.
Oh, bloody, it's been a while. But basically, we're light as head of them. Basically, they are.
Yeah, they were catching.
completely
I said
boxing.
they were catching smoke. I said they were catching smoke, yeah, and they were losing that game. What happened? They lost that
Cool.
game. Do you know why I know that? Because it's Spursy all over, innit?
Yeah.
Like we're challenging for a league title. They had a chance to stop it, and they do nothing.
They even helped us out
That's
as well along the way.
Spursy.
They've even
That
helped
is
us out along the way.
Spursy. Bro, this is how mad this is, right? You know when some people were saying, "Oh, I can't support Spurs. I'd rather City win." You utter idiots. Spurs winning actually would have helped us, but you know what? When they were 2-0 up, right? I was celebrating. I was like, "Oh yes, they're 2-0 up. We might actually get ground on City now." But in my heart, right, and my heart was thinking and hoping Spurs would win, but my head was saying the whole time, no, City are winning this. You know why? Because it's Spursy. That's what they do. Like, Roy Keane said it years ago, and you know what? It still rings true now. Spurs will always let you down. Always. And that's from a Manchester United legend as well.
Yeah, remember all them years ago? Well, I'm trying to think what season it was. I think it was the 0102 season. Tottenham went 3-0 up at home to Man United, and they lost at half time. They're 3-0 up. Can't even remind the people what happened second half.
They lost that game. They lost it, didn't they?
Oh yeah, 5. They held 5 in the second half.
Bro, do you know what? See Alex Ferguson, right? Manchester United, I think, were 2-0 down, and this is like when Fergie was like closer to the end of his career as opposed to like the start, right? United were, I think they were 2-0 down against Spurs. I can't remember, but I can't remember the exact score, but I think they were 2-0 down, right? And at halftime, Alex Ferguson's words to the Man United players were, "It's only Tottenham." What happened? What happened? Man United go on to win it. Bro, that is legitimately all you need to know about Tottenham. They're a dead team. They're not a big club, bro. They're not. Like, they can go on like they're a big club. All right, you don't win trophies. Like, the 3 biggest clubs in England are Liverpool, Man United, and Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
I'd put Man City in there, even though I had a subtle dig at them tonight, but only because the City fans really did piss me off last week. And again, that shows that the City fans are rattled because they know that we're playing better than them and they can't stomach it. So there's that. But as far as Spurs go, mate, you know, it really depends where you're from, right? If you're from London, right, you'll think Spurs are your biggest rivals, right? Along with Manchester United. But it really depends where you grew up and whatnot.
Yeah.
Me, I didn't grow up in London, right? I grew up in a little village in Dunfermline that was dominated by Liverpool fans and Manchester United fans, right? No Tottenham fans in sight. Seriously, you'd look for them, you wouldn't find them. Sort of like their team this season. You look for the team and you can't see them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But look, when I was growing up, it was Arsenal, Manchester United. Like, especially like in the early 2000s. See when we'd be playing Manchester United in cup finals. I wouldn't talk to my family for the whole day. That's how heated the rivalry. That's how heated the rivalry was. Like, and I do believe we're moving back towards those days where, all right, it's not just like Arsenal and United just at the top by themselves, but Arsenal and United will be in title races for years to come now. That's happening. Like, you've got, Man United finally have the right manager. It took them a while to get there, but they finally got the right manager. If they get new owners, they're on it.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
That's the one sticking point, right? But us, you look at us now, recruitment wise. Like, can anyone name one Arsenal player that hasn't been a hit? Because I'm struggling with this one.
Literally, I think Willian, and that's only because the backlash were coming from Chelsea. No. It just didn't work. Even he said in an interview recently that it's just, for whatever reason, it just didn't click for me.
Yeah,
at the end of that season, we come together, we discuss things and found the best case scenario for everyone. And the fact that even he at his brief stint at Arsenal is still talking positive about us, about Arteta, and hoping that we do what we're trying to do.
Bro, this is it.
So,
for me, Manchester United are our rivals, always have been, always will be. I don't care where they are in the league. Like, even when we were the utter shit, and they were as well, like, you could still feel like the venom between the two fan bases. Like, it's there. It always has been there. We've just been at our down points. Like, and even still, both clubs have managed to win major. Well, okay, yeah, I would still say the FA Cup's a major trophy.
Yeah, it is
both clubs have still managed. Both clubs, in their worst periods, have still managed to win major trophies before that lot.
But they're a big cup of.
I mean, bro, this is. And yet you've got Spurs, and yet you've got Spurs fans saying, like, "Oh, this is actually comedy gold as well." Remember the whole "we won the transfer window" shit
from last summer, yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
Look how that's worked out.
Like, how could we beat a team twice who had the best transfer window and who have the best striker, the best manager, the best left winger, and all this? Can someone explain to me how we beat them
Brazilian
twice?
in the world.
Can someone explain how do we beat them twice again?
Because it's bollocks, basically, in terms of them winning the window.
Mate, they never learn. They never learn.
We signed Ben White, not last window, the last summer, the summer before, for £50 million. Richarlison's come in at this most recent summer, last summer, for £60 million, and Ben White scored more goals than him for Arsenal. He couldn't make it up, and when he did score
60 million, you know, fucking hell.
The thing is, he scored at the weekend, and I've been in the group. Oh, here we go. His pigeon head scored and all that. VAR ruled it offside, and he got booked for it because he took his shirt off. It's like, okay, cool, no worries. Back to normal service has resumed. No worries. Imagine there's a chance that they spent £60 million on Richarlison, who's come out and attacked Conte, by the way, since being knocked out of the Champions League, and he might not score a league goal for him. His only contribution could be 2 Champions League goals that mean nothing, effectively.
Yeah,
again, that's a Spurs thing.
And they're gonna lose Kane in the summer, mate. You know they are, because Ten Hag's already, like, Man United have made Harry Kane their priority target.
Yeah,
like, if Kane's got any sense, he'll go to Man United because there's more of a chance he'll win a trophy there than at Tottenham. They ain't winning shit.
If he stays after all the debacle of Man City a couple of years back, he has now got a second. According to reports, he's got a second bite to get out of that shithole. If he does not stomp his feet this summer and get his ass out of that cesspit of a club, he never will. He deserves everything he gets then, as far as I'm concerned.
You know them conversations where, like, you're invited to the same kind of parties that Thierry and Alan Shearer are. Right? If he stays at Spurs, mate, he doesn't get invited to those parties.
mean, even all them years ago, Teddy Sheringham was at Tottenham. He left Tottenham to go to United for 3 years or 3 years, 2-3 years, whatever. Won a few trophies, then thought, you know what, done what I've got done. Won a few league titles, part of a treble winning team in '99. I'm gonna go back to Tottenham now and retire, pretty much, because he knew he wasn't going to go. He wasn't going to win no more trophies, so he went back to Tottenham. And even after that, he left. He left Tottenham near the tail end of his career to go to Portsmouth and won the championship. Just let that sink in.
Did Portsmouth not wait? How long was Teddy Sheringham at Portsmouth for? Because I remember Portsmouth winning the FA Cup as well. Or did that happen after he left?
Oh, he left by then. He retired by then. Yeah, he went to. He did Pompey for a couple of years. 03-04 when they came up, he was there. I think he stayed on for another season, 04-05, I think, and then he went. No, 03-04 was at Pompey, and 04, some of 04, he went to West Ham to 04-05 for a couple of years, and then retired.
Do you know what? I would sort of understand. I would understand if Harry Kane left Tottenham, right, to get his trophies, but then once he won all his trophies, like, and just gone back to like end his career there, I'd understand that. But I mean, Jesus, like, Tottenham as a club are cursed because they're never winning a trophy. It's not going to happen. Like, because they've had two of the last, was it three? Well, the last three managers they've had, Jose, Nuno, Conte. Two of them have won the most trophies. Like, they've won more trophies than anyone over the last decade.
Yeah.
And yet you couldn't win anything with Tottenham. And Tottenham sacked Jose 5 days before a cup final as well. Bro, it's Spursy.
And then hired for the rest of the season Ryan Mason, or whatever his name, I know. His name there. Do you know as interim for the rest of the season. Right? He's more defensive than Mourinho, turned out.
Yeah, and look, the likes of Pochettino, bro, like that's a disaster waiting to happen. There's an old saying: never get back with your ex.
That stupid. Even he
never get back with your ex, bro, because it's just going to end in tears. Like, you know, all right. What was it? Last year, right? I got rid of. Okay, this will kind of put it into perspective, right? Was it last year? Yeah, it would have been someone. I got rid of like someone toxic in my life, right? That strung me along for years and years and years and years. In the same way that Tottenham do to their fan base, right? And ever since then, I've thought, you know what? Maybe just forgive her a little bit, right? But it's a thought that pops into my head once, right? And then I snap back to my senses and like, nah, it's just going to end in tears if I do that. If Pochettino goes back to Spurs, it is literally that. Getting back together with your ex, thinking it's all going to be rosy. It's not. It's not. And I rate Pochettino as a manager. I do. I don't think PSG changes that because PSG is a basket case of a club anyway. So if Pochettino goes back there, that's it. That's it. You might as well just hand your resignation in now because let's be honest, like, even if he builds something to a point where they become like a good team again, they're not winning nothing.
No.
They're not.
They're nowhere near because they're going. That team would then be going toe to toe with Man City, us, United, Chelsea. Maybe we don't know what's happening there. Liverpool, we'll see what happens there. But they're going. There's multiple clubs there. They'll be going toe to toe against.
Bro, the only way Tottenham are competing with us, United, City, Liverpool, and Chelsea is if an oil baron comes in and buys them. That's the only way it's happening. And you know what?
Even then, I think they found a way to Spurs that up.
Yeah. Like, because there was there was a Qatar link a few like a month
Weeks
ago.
ago, yeah.
We've not heard anything from it since. It was one report, and it's not been followed up on. So my guess is that was bullshit anyway.
That was Daniel Levy and the gang trying to get the pressure off him. Probably.
Yeah.
But before we wrap things up, BX is asking, when's St. Tottenham's Day? Soon.
Oh, it's coming soon. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. Actually, do you know what? You can actually see, this is the difference, right? See, like with St. Tottenham's Day, yeah? When it happens to us, we're happy for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Literally.
Right? If that, like for like half a second, right? And when, actually, this will highlight it. See when we beat Villa and we finished above Tottenham, right? I wasn't thinking we finished above Tottenham, that's a great season. No, I was thinking about how shocking we were that season, because we were shocking.
Yeah.
We were shocking. I couldn't give a shit about finishing above Tottenham. I couldn't give two fucks, because as far as I'm concerned, we should be like finishing above Spurs should be the minimum we should expect. The absolute minimum.
Yep.
It's not like it's our end all be all. Whereas it is with that lot. Like if we were if we were 10th and they were 5th, they wouldn't be pissing and moaning like they are now.
No.
Simple.
Oh, exactly. So again, as I've been saying, as I've said before, for the last 7 years, they said it. They spend the whole summer celebrating. Oh, we finished better than Arsenal. No matter what, even when in them 7 years we've won 2020 FA Cup, 2017 FA Cup, 2015 FA Cup, like, but they're still celebrating. Like, that's their mentality, and this is like, I think the biggest signal of their mentality is going back to when we last won the league on their turf. When Robbie Keane's equalised to make it 2-2, and Tarico's there celebrating on the sidelines, giving it the big one, and Henri's like, you do realise?
Oh yeah, they were celebrating, and Henri's like, oh, you celebrating that? We just won the league.
You do realise we just needed a point today? Yeah. Okay, no worries. Full-time whistle went, and to add a bit of context here, Arsenal were given the heads up because Chelsea early in the day lost to Newcastle. Arsenal were given the heads up. All we needed was a point to secure the title. And if that was the case, we're told if that was the case, we did win the title on that day at Tottenham, not to celebrate on the pitch, don't want to cause any anarchy, even the fans trying to rip on the pitch and all that, tear the players apart basically and cause a bloodbath. Fine, no problem. When Tarico's doing all that, giving it the fans are celebrating that they've won the World Cup for a 2-2 equaliser, Henri's like, okay, wait till full time. Well, full time came along a few minutes later. He's just walking casually as you do towards the Arsenal fans. Didn't give any indication away. He got straight away. Stewards are coming over. Jamie Redknapp and all that. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? No. It's like, no. You're all celebrating. We're going over to actually celebrate for a trophy. You can celebrate a little draw. We're going to celebrate a trophy. Off we come. And we just literally milked it every second of it. The fact that an inflatable, out of nowhere, an inflatable Premier League trophy appeared, and actually Carl and Henri are standing, literally squatting on the centre circle with the little caps on, celebrating, and then going back to that corner in the away section, celebrating with the fans. A trophy win, like we did this season in the away section when we beat them a couple of months ago. We didn't celebrate the trophy win, but we're celebrating the win. We don't celebrate draws. They were celebrating the draw. They're like, yeah, it means something. Yeah, and forgetting that. Hang on, they won the title. They're going to win the title here. But hey,
they celebrated the draw against Chelsea earlier in the season, legitimately. They were battered for most of that game. They were dominated, and they celebrated a 2-2 against Chelsea.
We got criticised. I think that's the same weekend. That was the same weekend. It was the day after we beat Fulham. I think it was. So in the same time scale, maybe a week later or so. we beat Fulham. We were getting criticised left, right, centre for celebrating the win by Richard Keys in the gang and all that, and Andy Grain. Less about them, the better, but still. And yet, a couple of weeks later, whenever it was, when Tottenham played Chelsea at the Bridge, and it and a last gasp equalised to make it 2-2, and then at the whistle, final whistle goes. You got Tottenham fans going, yeah, in the away section, like giving it, and then Basumers, who played for 5 minutes, by the way, 5 minutes, shirt off, way, like they won the title. That's the mentality, celebrating a draw. It's always been the case, and the media hype him up for overhype him for what the club really is, and the fan base is just delusional, beyond belief delusional. To think they're a big club, Nottingham Forest are a bigger club than Tottenham. Aston Villa are a bigger club than Tottenham.
Everton are a bigger club than Tottenham.
Exactly.
They are.
No, they are. Exactly. There's no if, buts, or maybes. And the sooner they realise that and realise they're not a big club, the easier it'll get for them. I mean, what is it? I think I don't know if you've seen it. Paddy Power put a video out today, a tweet with a video out. They've mocked up together. The little Teddy Sheringham and a few other players, Chris Waddle and all that. Basically, pretended to be, we're hardcore Man City and this, that, and the other. If you haven't seen it, I'll send you the link later. But so basically, Paddy Power being Paddy Power, basically. But yeah, I've pissed myself. It's brilliant. Fucking Glenn Hoddle and all that is, yeah. Yep, Aston Villa. The media loves Harry Kane. I don't know fucking sure, because the one time they turned on him, I remember a few years back when Ericsson was across the ball and it went straight in. Harry Kane tried to claim it, but it went everything. We saw it match the day that day. It was against Hull. It went straight in. It was an Ericsson goal. The media hounded on him banter-wise. Didn't go like personal digs or nothing. Like, what's he's delusional? Take the piss, having a bit of a laugh. He lost his mind, went to counter sue him, and then since then they all love him. Apparently, the guy is he's a good striker, but he hasn't achieved nothing trophy-wise. I mean, World Cup against France. Look, it's your bread and butter. You've never missed a penalty in your life, and you decide, oh no, it's a World Cup. Boom, off we go. It just does mind the loving he gets. Like, I don't get why he's England captain. He does. When he got given the armband after Henderson was injured at the time, it made no sense. Yes, he's a goal scorer, but he's not captain material. But the media hype him up what they are. Southgate hypes him up for something he isn't, and this, that. It is beyond belief. And yet we've mentioned it tonight. Ben White, best right back arguably in the country, doesn't get recognised for that by Gareth Southgate, no matter what. Hence why Ben White then comes back from the World Cup earlier than them. Saka we had the fan base had to literally get on Southgate's back to give Saka the chance, really, and obviously that's paid off well for us in going forward, but. It's like the token gesture, and it takes the mick. I mean, look at Tottenham's golden generation. Where's Dele Alli now? Even Besiktas don't want him now. 6 months into a loan, they were like, "Can
he was in Turkey, but he's then like I don't know what, like, because again like, you know, Dele Alli under Pochettino was actually like, you know. He was very good, like, you know, under Poch. But again, this is what it comes down to. It comes down to mentality, right? Players get a sniff of like greatness, and then they think they've already made it, and it's exactly that with Dele Alli. So, like, okay, fine, like it just shows that you didn't have the mentality in the first place. So
yeah,
it is what it is. Like, I mean. It just shows, really, because if you go back to like the Euros, Saka missed the the penalty, which would have kept England in it. And he's getting dogs abuse on like social media and that, racial abuse and everything else. And then the next season, he's like, oh, okay, you want to do that? Cool. He kicks on, not even just water off a duck's back, basically.
Yeah.
And he's doing exactly the same thing again. Like, if anything, Saka's mentality is streets ahead of what Dele Alli's was. Like, it's not even close. Like, it's like there's levels to this, and Saka's just different gravy, man. Like,
Yeah,
the kid's been with Arsenal since he was like what, 8 years old. So
yeah,
so again, it's like he lives and breathes this. Like, he knows. So, and if anything, like, what endears Arsenal fans to him, right? After we lost the Europa League semi-final to Villarreal, he went on his social media that very night and sent out the message to Arsenal fans, you deserve better than this. That's why we love him.
Mm.
He gets it.
He gets it. Yeah. He bleeds the club. And like, I think when he was his break, was it in that season where Unai Emery got sacked and obviously Mikel came in, we beat we're playing Everton, we beat them 3-2 that day at the Emirates and all that. They'd brought in Freddie Ljungberg for punditry that day, and he was saying basically, because obviously he coached them at under 15 or under 18s or whatever, the youth levels, whatever, of coaching levels Freddie was at initially. And he said the kid's got an unbelievable talent, and even when later in that game afterwards, they said, "Oh, Freddie's in the studio," and he's faced it up because, and he even said, in terms of my own personal thing, I thrived working under Freddie because he is an Arsenal legend. I wanted to learn off him. I wanted to soak up everything he could offer me for my position on and off the pitch. And Freddie then reconfirmed that. He said, "Yeah, he is that sort of person. Even as a young kid, doing all his schoolwork and all that, and all his A levels and all that, he'll still come to Freddie, pull Freddie to one side and say, boss, where can I improve? What can I do to get to the next level and push on and give myself a better chance of breaking into the senior team, etc." It's that drive, that hunger, that again, because he's one of our, he comes from our academy, he's come through the academy from at such a young age and all that, and then as he's come through, he's carried. People don't even remember this. This kid, when he broke through, this team was on its knees. Club, in terms of the squad, it was on its knees. Look at the squad that he came into. As you mentioned before, Socrates, Mustafi, Hector Bellerin, Petr Cech at the end of his career in goal. A non-existent midfield, let's be honest, in terms of what we've got nowadays. And our tackle's toothless 9 times out of 10. And he's carried, on his back, he's carried this club on his back from 17 years of age when he broke through into the senior team. He's 21. He's been around for a few years, but he's 21, and people need to remember this. And that makes me even more proud of not just him as a person, but what the club has done, especially in that moment at 19 years of age when he was getting all that BS from idiots online after a penalty miss for England. The club put their arms around the club and his family and people around him put their arms around him and picked him back up, put the pieces together. The fan base came together as one and got around him. He fed off that, and he just went, "Okay, thank you, and now I'm going to reward you with that and kick on." And he has kicked on. He kicked on last season. He's kicked on even further this season. He has been fun. He's phenomenal. I mean, you mentioned it before. His goals and assists this season is no one comes close to him in his young player wise.
10 goals, 9 assists. 10 goals, 9 assists, right? It says all. It says everything, really.
Yeah, exactly. And that's insane for someone. It's insane for someone of such a young age to have that maturity as a player, but also to bring them levels at such a young age. He's not, again, I think Joel mentioned it earlier. like the rest of our team, they haven't even peaked yet. This is not even in their prime year. Not even their prime years. I think Wenger said a few years ago he was manager, he was doing some on stage thing, like Q&A thing or whatever, and he said the prime years don't come around. Players don't hit their prime until they're like 23, 24, and they sort of kick on from there. So if Saka's doing this now at 21, what's he going to be like in 2 to 3 years' time when he does hit his pomp? People need to put the respect on this kid's name. There's a reason why we nickname.
You need to put respect on our name, bro. Never mind that.
What's that?
Well, there's a reason why we call him. There's a reason why we call him Starboy. But
yeah,
like again, people. It's not just Saka, right? People need to start putting respect on Arsenal's name because not many people do, and even when they do, right, they do it in a backhanded way. Like it's like, yeah, you're doing good, but there's this as well. Like, do you have to do the backhanded thing? Like, can you not just say you're doing good? Like, that's not hard, is it? Like, and in truth, look, I don't pay attention to what rivals say anymore because, as far as I'm concerned, it's all agenda filled. But what we're asking, like, we don't really care about what rivals have to say. We don't really care for like the acknowledgement of rivals and whatnot, right? What we are asking for is respect from the paid pundits. Now, we're not saying you have to like put your cards on the table and go, Arsenal are going to win the league. We're not saying that. We're not saying that at all. What we're saying is you pay us the respect by not just acknowledging the fact that we can win it. You don't have to say we will, just say that we can. That's not difficult. Because if they're saying Man City are going to win the league, okay, that's fine. They've won 4 of the last 5. I have no issue with that opinion. But Man City are 5 points behind us. So just show us that little bit of respect. That's all we want. We just want that, acknowledgement that from like the professionals and whatnot, that we're actually doing well. Like,
no, exactly.
I don't see what's so difficult to like for the professionals to do that. I just don't see it. Like, why? Like, I know why Gareth Neville doesn't do it because he's a Man United fan at heart. But you know what? You're paid of quite a big amount to give your opinion as a professional pundit. If you think Man City are going to win the league, fine. That's your opinion. But you don't have... All I've seen is these people try to put us down at every twist and turn. Well, you're not a professional at that point then. Like, you're no different than any other rival fan then. Because that's what you're doing. You're having your own agenda and you're doubling down on it.
That's just a tad, yeah. I think we're done with that thing. 2 hours and nearly 25 minutes been going. We're about things up,
Jesus.
obviously. longer than planned, put it that way. But yeah, thanks, Colin. Obviously, Joel earlier on. Thanks for coming along to take part in the podcast, and everyone in the chat as well. Thanks for taking part in the chat, Vast, Nemeth, Colin as well, and a few others as well. BX. In terms of the next show is going to be tomorrow with James Lowe for the preview for Lisbon, because obviously that's his next only time he's available, so we're going to do that tomorrow around early evening, around 6:30, give or take, UK time. And then if Go's available, we'll be doing a watch. If it goes available, we can host. He'll be doing a watch long on Thursday because I'm at the game myself. Other than that, it's then back to match. Everything's back to normal at BBC HQ with Lineker and Whitey and all that. We're going to have match of the day on Saturday, just to keep an eye on all the teams in and around us and this, that, and the other, and all that jazz that we always do. And then on Sunday, the main event: Arsenal versus Palace, 2:00 kickoff, 1:30, we go live, go for the teams and all that jazz, and see if Arsenal can get that 8-point cushion. Oh dear! And then we're going to the international break where I've got to be bored to death by Gareth Southgate. Yay! Can we just skip once after Sunday? Can we just skip to the 1st of April, please?
I wish. Well, actually, no, I don't wish. But I don't wish that because we're actually we're like going to qualify for the Euros as well. So,
but yeah. Yeah,
no joking. No joking around. Come on.
No. Never saying TalkSport is worse. Well, Jim White, former Palace boy that run Crystal Palace into the ground. Jordan and all that. Simon Jordan. Them two, they are the worst. Jamie O'Hara as well. The only perk of TalkSport nowadays is Laura Woods. Let's be brutally honest. And Annie McCoist. That's it.
Yeah.
That doesn't say much. Even Hugh Wizzy got out of there before he got out of control. Once he realised what they're all about, he got out of there all them years ago. If you know Hugh Wizzy and he's past the TalkSport, you know. I'm not going to go into that because I don't want to get bloody TalkSport come after me and go, "Hey, how dare you say this?" Right, come at me then. Prove me wrong. Collins going for a 2-0 win over Palace with a very tight 2-1 win over Sporting if Arteta puts out our best available 11 on the pitch. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even though Palace are struggling to get shots on target recently, as we said earlier, against City, they turned up, they had a game plan. They were sticking to the game plan, but one player went rogue and fucked it up for them. I hope in normal circumstances, if we weren't playing Arsenal next, I'd hope he'd be dropped. But you know what? Because we're playing them next, please don't drop him Vieira. Even though I don't want you to be sacked, because you are an Arsenal man, I kind of want us to get the points.
Yeah.
So, and I know you haven't won in 2023 yet in the league, but something's got to give, and I think you have to wait You're going to wait till April basically for your next league win possibly. But as I said, I don't want Vieira again, Arsenal man himself. I don't want him being sacked. So Palace, please don't lose faith in him. Just remember whose ego. And I say ego, not egos. Ego is screwing up Vieira and that Palace team. Just think about that before you go and shoot the gun on Vieira and all that. But yeah, we're going to wrap things up. I'll see you on the other side, guys. See you tomorrow around 6:30. I'll give you the confirmation and the community post and all that once I've got it all sorted with James in the morning. And we'll see you on the other side. As always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you guys.